Hey, what is up, everybody? Chad here, and so we just finished Civil War, right? So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish this small little arc on the Avengers by Jason Aaron. Then I'm gonna finish out Planet Hulk, and then go finish out the Thor: God of Thunder, that story with with Gore the God Butcher. So I think I'm gonna do it like that because I have like four different stories up right now, so I'm gonna just do that. And I also have like access to like DC comics now, so I can actually start doing DC comic books. The only reason I haven't done it before is because of like honestly like DC is like it's okay ish, but like Marvel's like so much better. The only like comics I like in DC would probably be like The Flash. Like Batman is well, I mean Batman has some good stories. Superman is horrible. Wonder Woman is horrible. Everybody else is just like horrible except like Flash and Batman to some extent. But I'm gonna just finish out with this Avengers story. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you end up enjoying the video, leave a like, and let's go ahead and start it. So last place that we ended off at, everyone had just split ways. Captain America, he's with the Celestials and Loki, and Black Panther and Captain Marvel, they went Captain Marvel, they went to Alpha Flight Station to try to see what the bugs are, like to, get like intel on them, to like study them a little bit. And Iron Man and Doctor Strange, they basically went to the Eternals to basically do the same thing with the Celestials. You'll see why they're dying out, stuff like that. Ghost Rider, he just drove off on his own, just do his own thing. He's basically gonna go try to find the Celestials. So here, Thor and Hulk, they basically went to Odin to see, cause like Thor, he just found out like some stuff that he didn't know about Odin before, how he fought Celestials and stuff like that. So it's basically gonna go and talk to him and like see what Odin can tell him, basically, to like see if he can like help out with the Celestials. So he's basically like talking, Odin, he's talking to him about how he went and fought the Celestials, basically saying like yeah, we went out there, we fought a Celestial, we killed it, basically. And and Thor's like, well, how? And Odin's just like, well, I mean, it was a weak Celestial, he was sick, he was dying already, so we just came in and just did like cleanup duty pretty much. He's saying like the Odin sword, Yarnbjorn, like your axe, like none of that is gonna help. Like it's hopeless. Like that's not gonna really help you. Like we only killed that Celestial because he was sick. And Odin, like he's basically like talking. He's like, well, I can give y'all a chance. Like there's something that I have that'll help y'all out a bit, but I mean it's not gonna like actually work for real. And Odin's like, what is it? Thor's like, what is it? And Odin's just like, all right, well, come on. So they're going down to they're going down these stairs, and Thor's just like, oh, I've never seen this before. I've ran these halls like since I was a kid. Like I've never seen this before. And Odin's like, yeah, that's because I didn't want you to see it, pretty much. So he's asking him what's behind his door, right? And Odin's like, well, I mean, it could save the world, it could end the world, but it's not gonna kill the Celestials. It can do a lot of things, but it's not gonna help you kill those Celestials. So Thor's like, well, I gotta use it anyway. So the Hulk like snatches the door off. They go in there, and like they end up seeing like that's a bunch of ice. And Thor's like, oh, okay, what's all this ice here? And he's like, well, whatever you need, the thing that you need is basically on the other side of this ice. So Thor and Hulk, they basically go running in, just like smashing all the ice. They're basically racing into the middle, see what's up with see what's in the middle of the room. So while they're doing that, in Greece, in Olympia, Doctor Strange and Iron Man, they both make it to the the home of the Eternals, right? They're there with the Eternals, and like when they get there, Doctor Strange, he's like scanning, right? And like he's scanning, but he doesn't find any life forms. Like there's nobody there. And like when they go in there, they actually find out that all of the Eternals are dead. Like every single one of them. Like they were massacred. After a little investigation, they look at like the bodies, and they're just like, okay, wait, this looks pretty recent. Like they look like they did this to themselves. Like they just start killing themselves, pretty much. And Iron Man, he's like flying around, like looking at what's going on. He's like, and while he's doing that, he's telling Doctor Strange like the basically like the history of the Eternals. He's basically saying like, okay, they said that they were like created by the Celestials to watch over humanity at the same time that the Celestials came back and modify humanity. Because like the thing like with the first host, that's basically what that was. They came, they modified humanity, made like the Eternals, the Deviants, and like normal human beings. And like what they did with the Eternals, they basically made them like godlike beings, like like basically like the protectors of humanity, like normal humans. The normal humans, they basically modified them in like a way where they would like eventually like start like developing powers and stuff like that. And they made a third group called the Deviants. If you saw the Eternal movie, you would know that like the little like creatures, the little dog creature things, those are the Deviants basically. But they're like different in the comics. They don't look like all like dogs. They all look different. Like they basically made the Deviants like unstable, so like none of them look the same. So that's basically like what he's telling Doctor Strange, pretty much. And like while he's flying through there, he's hears something, he hears and he looks down and it's Icarus. Icarus, he looks like he's about to die, but he's not completely dead yet. And like, he's talking to Icarus and like, he's trying to get Doctor Strange to come and help, like save him and stuff. He's like bleeding out. But like, Icarus, he's talking to him, he's like, okay, we were wrong, Tony. Like we thought that we were like here to protect y'all, but no, we were here to like cultivate y'all. Y'all were just like basically like food that we were like protecting pretty much for the Celestials. That's what he's telling them. And now Iron Man, he's just like what? And then like Icarus, like he puts his hand out and he like taps Iron Man on his head, and he's like, all right, you're the only one that can do this. And like, it gives like this little shock to Iron Man. So like whatever he did, I think like it seems like he just like gave him like some piece of information, which will be like very important later. Like remember this part, like he just tapped Tony Stark on the head and just like dropped something into his mind. Remember that part, because that'll be important. From there, we go to Alpha Flight Station. Black Panther and Carol Danvers, they basically went to go and like inspect like the little bug creatures, the little insects. And like while they're doing that, they're basically thinking that like the Horde is like team up with the Celestials pretty much. Because like all of the Dark Celestials, they have like the life force of the bugs. They're called the Horde. Actually, I'm gonna just start calling them that. They're called the Horde. They basically have like the life force of them like inside of them. So basically, it looks like they're like teaming up basically, and like all the insects. They're coming from the dead Celestials. So they basically just like killed those. So it looks like all those Celestials that they killed weren't like like trying to help the Horde out. So they was like, all right, y'all can go, bye, basically. And like from there, we go back to the North Pole. So this is where we get like a little more explanation of what's going on, like what happened, what's going on, stuff like that, pretty much. All right, so we got Captain America and Loki. They're all in the North Pole. Remember, they went down into the North Pole and saw the progenitor. They ended up finding him, and they have like all the Dark Celestials there with them. And like Loki, he's talking to Captain America, and he's like, okay, what do you know about the history of the world, like history of humanity, pretty much. Captain America, he's just like, yeah, I know about it, yeah, like the Celestials that came back like millions of years ago, modified humanity, stuff like that, and like that's pretty much it. And Loki says, wrong, all of that is wrong. And he just starts like telling them like what really happened. He's like, okay, yeah, you think that they like these people, these Celestials, they came back like hundreds of thousands of years ago, millions of years ago. That is wrong. This guy right here that you're looking at, he's been here for 4 billion years. Like he came here, he didn't come here to like like modify y'all. He just came here to die. He was sick. He had like this infection, and he just came here to die. And that's basically what's gonna happen to all of y'all. And like while he's doing that, while he's telling like Captain America all that stuff, Ghost Rider, he ends up we end up finding out where he's at. He's like riding up to the Celestials. Like he ended up finding him with the celestial tech that he had, and he ends up going to he ends up going underwater basically, because like the Celestials, like at this point they ended up like putting their hands in the air and like basically setting fire to the skies and to all the oceans basically. So like everything is just like on fire right now. So while they're doing that, Iron Man and Doctor Strange, they're like flying, they're flying, trying to get out of there, because like everything's like burning and stuff. It's like raining fire, like all the water's on fire, like all that stuff. And like they're trying to get away. And Tony Stark, he's asking his AI, he's like, all right, what's up with my GK2, which is basically God Killer 2. He has this like God Killer armor, which is gonna be so dope. Like when that thing pops up and everybody else like starts doing what they're doing, it's gonna be so dope. Like it's gonna be amazing. Like I'm honestly waiting for that part. It's like in the next issue, so we'll get there like in the next video. But he's asking for that, that he's basically like the AI is basically saying like it just left Martian orbit. So he basically had it like stashed on Mars. He's calling it from Mars basically, so it's gonna take like a little time to get there. So while he's doing that, Thor and Hulk, they're actually still running through the frozen room, right? And like while they're doing that, they ended up finding this little egg thing. It's basically the blood of Ymir. If you know it, Ymir is basically like one of the frost giants. He's like I think the original frost giant. But yeah, he's like a frost giant. That's why it's like all that ice in there basically. So when they find it, Thor, he actually ends up passing out, so it's so cold, like he's in there freezing. So he ends up passing out. Hulk, like she ends up like glowing and stuff, like and she ends up kissing him, basically trying to like warm him up, using her heat basically. So when they end up waking up, they got the blood of Ymir. They take it and they're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna use this and destroy those Celestials. And Odin's like, yeah, good luck, man. And he's just like, good luck, man. Like you can use that, but it's not gonna work too much, man. It'll give you like a spectacular ending, but you're not gonna kill those things pretty much. So while that's all going on, he's basically like recounting his time, basically saying like him and all the original fighters, the Avengers, basically at that time, pretty much, they were fighting, but they had no chance. Like all of them died to the Celestials. Like they were massacred. Like that's pretty much was what Odin is trying to like tell Thor, but Thor is just not listening, basically. So that's the end of that story. We're gonna get into the next one probably in a few days. I was gonna do like the Thor story on Thursday, and I was gonna start this Flash story on Friday, and maybe I was gonna start and do like Hulk again on Wednesday. For everybody that knows what comes after Planet Hulk, I'm pretty sure you know why. Like that's got to be a Wednesday story right there. Okay, but yeah, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you enjoyed the story, leave a like, and I'll see y'all in the next video.